There is a kind of knowing that does not begin with answers, it begins with awe. When we begin to see clearly, not with eyes trained by culture or by fear, but by wisdom, we begin to sense something deeper beneath the surface of things. Life is not neutral, it flows from somewhere, or rather, from someone, and that source, unmade, unending, undefeatable, is alive in a way nothing else is. From that life, everything that truly lives is nourished. And from that life, something begins to reach, not forcefully, not by demand, but generously, like the quiet abundance of spring. What flows from this life cannot be earned, it cannot be held, it can only be received. We name it grace, not because that captures it, but because we have no better word for it. You cannot approach grace with a measuring stick. You cannot balance it against your story. Grace is not weighed, it is given, not because of what you are, but because of what God is. And what He is always. Grace doesn't increase when you behave or retreat when you fail. It flows, and it finds you. Even in places you've abandoned, even in souls so corrupted that no longer recognize beauty, grace appears. Wisdom doesn't ask, why would God give such a grace? It learns instead to recognize it, to marvel, to receive. The greatest sign of grace is not a feeling, it is not a shift of fortune, it is not an inner peace. It is a person, Christ, not merely sent by God, but the self-giving of God. Not a symbol, but a living intersection of heaven and earth. In Him, the undying life of God walks straight into the grave and comes out the other side carrying us. The message that rises from His life is not moral instruction, it is announcement, proclamation, not advice, but invitation. It speaks into the darkness without asking permission. You can live, not eventually, now. Not after fixing yourself, now. But grace does not stop at rescuing. It does not stop at forgiving. If we listen with wisdom, we realize the gift is not a change of state. It is not a change of relationship. It is more than that, a joining, a participation in the life of the giver. He gives Himself. That is why grace cannot be explained, only tasted, touched, and shared. The moment we try to turn grace into a system, it slips through our fingers. But when we allow it to reshape our seeing, our moving, our loving, then grace becomes not what we talk about, but what we live from, what we live into. Grace is not God's response to our failure. It's not expression of pity. It is the expression of His fullness. It is not a reaction. It is a revealing. It's revealing His heart, His life, His invitation. And the wonder is not simply that we receive it. The wonder is that we are drawn into it, that we are taught to walk in it, to speak from it, to recognize it in others, even before they see it in themselves. You cannot write down grace and be done. It will not fit on a page. It must be known with the whole self, like light, like breath, like home. If you have tasted it, you know. You may not be able to explain it, but you know. You were dead, and now you live. Like Paul says in Ephesians chapter 2, "For by grace you are saved through faith, and this is not from yourselves, it is a gift from God. It is not from works, so that no one can boast. For we are His creation, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand, so that we may walk in them.